Debates Commission is reporting that the Jamaica Labour Party and the People's National Party have agreed to participate in political debates organized by the Debates Commission ahead of the nation's next local government election. Now, the Commission says the decision was affirmed by the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding MOU yesterday at the office of the Jamaica Chamber of Commerce. The event was witnessed by Chairman of the Jamaica Debate Commission, Mr. Noel Da Costa. Representatives who were present at the signing for both parties were JLP General Secretary Dr. Horace Chang and the PNP's Deputy General Secretary Nikisha Burrell. Jamaica's next local government election is due by the end of February 2022. However, Prime Minister Andrew Holness has announced that an election will not be held during the 2021 calendar year due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The imminent local government debates will be the third staged ahead of Jamaica's local government election. In other news tonight, vendors at the downtown Kingston arcade say robberies and break-ins are on the rise and are calling on the police to increase their presence in the space. Here is Colleen May with more on this story.
Vendors in the shopping district of downtown Kingston are appealing to the relevant authorities to provide more police officers, especially for the Christmas season, due to an increase in break-ins and robberies. When our news team visited the area, some vendors were seen picking up what was left of their goods after their shops were broken into. One vendor who spoke off camera said it is very difficult to take out loans and then lose all their goods and no money to repay those loans.
Yeah, man, to all the system around down here right now, shop get teared down already. My cousin there, the whole shop get teared down. As you seen, in my view night and thing, yeah, it's kind of difficult for me. For every time I lose everything, and every time it happen, not come out tight. And we're there, we borrow a little money from the bank or something. I borrow money from people, put in a business and then lose all. Kind of difficult, you understand? So we talk from our guts. I said wicked, it rough. I'm not gonna lie. See me there, I do my little business and thing. I know it go for you borrow money, interest, everything grow up on it. Wicked man, I'm not lie. I feel it.
Another vendor who explained that his shop has been broken into multiple times laments how he struggles to get his goods replaced, noting that the police officers are of no help.
Feel it, man, I tell you. Them broke my store 3 times now. And me not get back nothing. And me pay a stall fee and thing. Each time them broke it, it cost me 20, 30 grand for fix back the building. Cause all them deal with it. You understand? 10 store them broke last week. My one, them try to go inside, them mash it up. And them think about them not try to get inside this time. But the last time them robbed my store, everything them clean out. Everything. Over $6 million worth of things. Them take it out of the shop. Yeah. Simple as you see it. And them police them come, them carry me go up a CIB. And me swear say me da get back me thing and rare and tete. Nothing me not get back. You understand? Everything just gone down the drain. The thief them, me don't know what go on. Me don't know, but the thief them, me don't know. The thief them just come down here, them just watch. And them always a get through. Them always a get through. You understand? Them ever get through. Me don't know how.
He further explained that the policing in the area is extremely poor and it desperately needs to be improved.
The police present poor, man. When me tell you say poor, all right, look at my building. I beat them, I beat it. And them beat that for run. Because you saw it bend up and mash up. So if them a beat something so long and no police not here and tone so silent, but just make you know say the police think poor, me general. Poor. Me even come in already, you know. A man stick me up in a red gun already, you know. All the thing me go through, you know, me general. So me not come in here so at night time again. Me usually come in here so at night time all 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, you know. Me stop coming here because man juke me already. Right, and me shop man juke me already. Mass up. You see it? So me go through it, me general. Me tell you right, a whole heap of thing me go through here, so. A 2 times me have to go a doctor when them broke here, so you know, and clean it out, you know. I have to pay a fee. If you don't pay a fee, they don't lock it down. KC come put on them own lock, you know. If you don't pay a fee, you know. If you don't pay a fee for your shop, you know. KC come put on them own lock, you can't go in your building, you know. No, security usually in the 90s. Them security usually in the 90s and the arcade usually lock up, you know. In the 90s are 6 security there, you know. And lock up and thing, you know. Them thing they mash up. See the arcade mash up there. When rain fall, it flood. So I mean I tell you, so the system not ready. You see, the rain a kill we.
Reporting from Mellow TV News, I am Colleen May.
Thank you, Colleen, for that report. In other news tonight, the Private Security Regulation Authority, PSRA, will increase accessibility to security personnel and companies island-wide through its new mobile registration unit, MRU, and online license renewal platform. The announcements were made yesterday when the PSRA officially received the MRU from Toyota Jamaica Limited. Now, the initiatives aim to boost registration of the private security companies and personnel and create further opportunities to engage with professionals in the industry who need to access PSRA services. The MRU will facilitate security personnel registrations and renewals, and the online platform, which can be accessed at www.psra.gov.jm, facilitates license renewals virtually. The need for private security continues to grow in Jamaica, and it is estimated that the sector contributes 1 to 3% to the island's GDP. This growth, says PSRA's Executive Director Rick Harris, has led to the body seeking new ways to meet the demand from private security personnel and companies. Commenting on the initiatives, Senator Matthew Samuda, Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of National Security, said that the commissioning of the mobile registration unit is a welcomed expansion of the Private Security Regulation Authority's general capacity and its ability to bring individuals who work informally in the private security industry into full compliance with government standards and regulations. In tonight's COVID-19 update, the Ministry of Health and Wellness reported 117 new COVID-19 cases and 15 deaths, increasing the country's infection total to 89,466 and the death toll from the virus now to 2,272. The deaths occurred between March 25 and November 2, 2021. The deceased are comprised of a 64-year-old female from Kingston and St. Andrew, whose death was previously under investigation. 5 persons from Kingston and St. Andrew, whose deaths were previously classified as under investigation, along with 2 newly confirmed deaths from the parish. 2 females from Hanover, whose deaths were previously classified as under investigation, along with 2 newly confirmed deaths from that parish as well. 2 males from St. James and a 62-year-old male from St. Catherine. Meanwhile, the new cases comprise 69 females and 48 males, ranging in age from 8 months to 97 years. The cases were recorded in St. Catherine with 36 cases. St. Anne recorded 26 cases. Kingston and St. Andrew recorded 18 cases. Clarendon recorded 9 cases. St. James recorded 6 cases. Manchester, St. Thomas and Trelawney recorded 5 cases each. St. Mary recorded 3. Hanover recorded 2 cases, while St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland recorded 1 case each. 146 additional persons recovered in the last 24 hours, increasing total recoveries now to 58,722, with 27,856 confirmed active COVID-19 cases on the island. Still making the news tonight, the Ministry of Justice today handed over 2 mobile units to the Court Administration Division, CAD, to be used by the courts of Jamaica to facilitate remote testimonies by vulnerable witnesses. The units, purchased at a cost of approximately 23 million Jamaican dollars, were handed over to the CAD at a ceremony held at the ministry's headquarters. The mobile units are equipped with video conferencing technology that will allow at-risk witnesses to deliver testimonies remotely. Now, this will be facilitated by an end-to-end live link, which will be shared with the court from their remote site. Speaking at the handing over ceremony, Minister of Justice Delroy Chuck emphasized that the mobile units will allow for increased protection of vulnerable witnesses who are reluctant to give evidence because of fear. The addition of the units to the court's existing technological framework forms part of the Justice Ministry's strategy to provide greater access to justice, improve efficiency in the justice sector, and transform the court system into a modern one. Still tonight, attorney at law Donovan WILLIAMS is lamenting the irregular behavior of some police officers who compile evidence in some cases. Here is Colleen May with the details on that story.
Attorney at law Donovan WILLIAMS has expressed concerns regarding the manner in which some police officers secure evidence. Mr. Williams, who expressed his discrepancy based on his client's case that was before the court, who was charged jointly with another for breaches of the Dangerous Drugs Act, for possession of cocaine, conspiracy to traffic cocaine, dealing in cocaine, and trafficking cocaine.
Maintaining the integrity of exhibits to be used in court, exhibits which a crown would seek to rely on to prove their case, in my view, is of the utmost importance. And officers should recognize that they have a high duty and there's a burden imposed upon them to protect the integrity of exhibits and to maintain the integrity of the chain of custody so that it is not impugned. Well, the truth is, generally they do a good work, but there are in some instances, they fall below the requisite standards, which is the case in this case.
He explained the Crown's case that occurred on January 2, 2019, and the irregularities he found in the police officer's search and securing of evidence.
Because in this case, a motor car was seized by, my client was the owner and driver of the motor car that was searched. This took place on January 2, 2019. This stop and search was on Spanish Town Road, across from the narcotics, in close proximity to the narcotics headquarters. The car was searched and nothing was found. The car it was taken on the compound. The officers indicated that they wanted to do a more comprehensive search of the motor vehicle. The evidence from the officers that they locked up the vehicle, and 2 days later they carried out a search. My client was not present at the search. A justice of the peace was present. My client had indicated that his attorney was not available for that day and had asked them to reschedule the search. Officers indicated that they could not wait to carry out the search. So the search was conducted. It was video recorded. JP was there. However, the video recording, in my view, falls short. But the real critical aspect of this case is that the car that was purported to have been sealed and made sterile, surveillance video that was installed at the narcotics headquarters showed that that officers entered the car even after it was sealed and in the absence of my client.
Mr. Williams said given the irregularities, he made a no-case to answer submission on behalf of his client, and the court upheld the no-case submission and his client was set free.
Yeah, this is after it was searched. So it was searched on Spanish Town Road, and the Caribbean search team searched it as well on January 4, and they say they found 2 parcels of cocaine wrapped under the front passenger seat and the driver's seat. But the issue to me had to do with the integrity of the chain of custody of the motor car since it arrived on that compound, because my client wasn't there for 2 days and this entire surveillance video. So the Crown disclosed surveillance video, which I looked at and discovered that the car was entered into prior to the search on January 4. And it was on that basis that I made an application to the court that the evidence was compromised, that the chain of custody, the integrity of the motor car, which was in the custody of the police, was questionable. Well, I don't know if based on the video recording, they were around the car was open, but I can't say it was a search. But the truth is, the evidence is that the car was sealed, and there was no evidence from the Crown that the car was searched at 5:44 p.m. on January 2, 2019. Because if the car was sealed shortly upon arrival at the narcotics division, then how do you explain other officers attending to the car at 5:44 p.m. You know, I'm not saying, I mean, we don't really know what happened, but that is a gap in the case. That is a major lacuna. And it was highly irregular, in my view. And I made a no case to answer, and the judge agreed. The judge upheld the no case submission made by both myself and Queen's Counsel Tom Tavares Vincent.
Reporting for Mellow TV News, I'm Colleen May.
Thank you, Colleen, for that report. Still tonight, the Child Protection and Family Services Agency has reported that 14 of the 15 children who were taken from the Pathways International Kingdom Restoration Ministries in Montego Bay, St. James on October 17 and placed in government care have been released to their families. The agency says one child remains in state care pending further investigations, and also the decision to return the children to the care of their parents was made by the judge at Wednesday's sitting of the St. James Family Court. The Child Protection and Family Services Agency further stated that it will be monitoring the progress of the children and will also be giving their families full support towards their education and through parenting workshops. The children were taken into custody on the night of October 17 after the St. James Police clamped down on a sacrificial ritual being performed at the compound, resulting in 2 persons being murdered and 3 others being seriously injured in clear view of the children. Continuing with the news tonight, the Culture, Health, Arts, Science and Education Chase Fund has provided over $36 million in scholarships to tertiary level students pursuing undergraduate degrees in early childhood education for the 2021-2022 academic year. Scholarship recipients are attending teacher training institutions across the island. The investment is in keeping with Chase's ongoing support for the development of the early childhood education sector. The scholarship program was designed in collaboration with the Early Childhood Commission, the University of the West Indies, and the Joint Board of Teacher Education. In addition to the Michael University College, the scholarships are also tenable at Shortwood, St. Joseph's, Sam Sharp Churches, Teachers College, and the International University of the Caribbean. And that's our news package for you tonight. Thank you for tuning in to Mellow TV Evening News at 8. I am Shelley Ann Hill. Do stay safe and pleasant viewing.